Get ready for an exciting lineup of new movies hitting theaters and streaming platforms in March. Whether you're a fan of blockbuster hits or indie gems, there's something for everyone in this month's lineup of new releases. So let's begin the video. Dune, Part 2. Dune is an epic science fiction film directed by Denis Villeneuve, based on Frank Herbert's novel of the same name. Set in a distant future where noble houses vie for control over the desert planet Arrakis, the story follows young nobleman Paul Atreides as he embarks on a journey of survival, political intrigue, and self-discovery. Dune Part 2 is expected to continue the epic saga of House Atreides and its struggle for control over the desert planet Arrakis. The movie is praised for its breathtaking visuals, immersive world building, and thought-provoking themes. The release date is March 1st on theaters. Spaceman. The movie follows the journey of Jakub Prochaska, a Czech astrophysicist who volunteers for an 8-month mission to explore a nebulous cloud near the planet of Venus, a mission deemed too dangerous by other nations' space programs. Alone in deep space, Jakub discovers a possibly imaginary giant alien spider who becomes his unlikely companion. Over philosophical conversations about the nature of love, life and death, and the deliciousness of bacon, the pair form an intense and emotional bond, an intergalactic odyssey of love, ambition, and self-discovery. The release date is March 1st on Netflix. Megamind vs. the Dune Syndicate. Megamind has put his villainous deeds behind him and become Metro City's valiant protector and hero. However, an unexpected event jeopardizes his new status. The Rock Syndicate, the supervillain team he used to be a part of, returns to the city. They make a mess of Metro City and villainous plans to launch the city to the moon. What they don't know yet, however, is that their former sidekick has gone over to the side of good. The release date is March 1st on Peacock. Ricky Stanicky. When 3 teens pull a prank and burn down a house in their neighborhood, they create a fake person to take the blame. Ricky Stanicky did it. 20 years later, we see that they have been using this alibi to get out of every uncomfortable situation in life. When their spouses and partners get suspicious and demand to finally meet the fabled Mr. Stanicky, the guilty trio decide to hire washed-up actor and raunchy celebrity impersonator Rod to bring him to life. But when Rod takes his role of a lifetime too far, they begin to wish they'd never invented Ricky in the first place. The release date is March 7th on Prime Video. Damsel. In this new fantasy film, a young woman who thinks she is being married to a perfect prince is thrown into a pit where she discovers she is not going to be a princess after all, but a sacrifice to appease a bloodthirsty dragon. Trying to survive long enough until someone can save her, she soon realizes that no one is coming, and this damsel must save herself. The release date is March 8th on Netflix. Imaginary. From Blumhouse Productions comes Imaginary, a horror film by director Jeff Wadlow. When Jessica moves back into her childhood home with her family, her youngest stepdaughter Alice develops an eerie attachment to a stuffed bear named Chauncey she finds in the basement. Alice starts playing games with Chauncey that begin playful and become increasingly sinister. As Alice's behavior becomes more and more concerning, Jessica intervenes only to realize Chauncey is much more than the stuffed toy bear she believed him to be. The release date is March 8th on theaters. Kung Fu Panda 4. After 3 death-defying adventures defeating world-class villains with his unmatched courage and mad martial arts skills, Pa, the Dragon Warrior, is called upon by destiny to give it a rest already. More specifically, he's tapped to become the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. As such, he will train a new kung fu practitioner for the spot, and will encounter a villain called the Chameleon, who conjures villains from the past. The release date is March 8th on theaters. Arthur the King. Michael Leinord, the captain of the Swedish adventure running team, had a strange encounter during the 400-mile race in the Ecuadorian jungle when a stray dog crossed his path. After Leinord fed him, the dog followed him for the rest of the course, running even the most difficult sections of the planet. As the team is pushed to their outer limits of endurance in the race, Arthur redefines what victory, loyalty, and friendship truly mean. The release date is March 15th on theaters. Irish Wish. When the love of her life gets engaged to her best friend, Maddie puts her feelings aside to be a bridesmaid at their wedding in Ireland. Days before the pair are to marry, Maddie makes a spontaneous wish for true love, and the next morning she wakes up as the bride-to-be. With her dreams seeming to come true, Maddie soon realizes that her real soulmate is someone else entirely. The release date is March 14th on Netflix. Immaculate. Cecilia, a woman of devout faith, is warmly welcomed to the picture-perfect Italian countryside where she is offered a new role at an illustrious convent. But it becomes clear to Cecilia that her new home harbors dark and horrifying secrets. The girl discovers that she is pregnant, and the church declares this case of Immaculate Conception a miracle. However, no one knows exactly who Cecilia is actually carrying. After all, instead of a new savior, there may be one who will plunge the world into eternal darkness. The release date is March 21st on theaters. Roadhouse. It is a reimagining of the 1989 film of the same name. Ex-UFC fighter Dalton takes a job as a bouncer at a Florida Keys roadhouse, only to discover that this paradise is not all it seems. The man does not intend to play by the rules of local corrupt gangsters, and therefore, he quickly makes enemies. When the owner of the establishment informs Dalton that her bar wants to take away the local crime boss, the hero has to enter into a much more serious confrontation. The release date is March 21st on Prime Video. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. This is an American supernatural comedy film. It is the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife 2021 and the fifth film in the Ghostbusters franchise. The Spengler family returns to where it all started, the iconic New York City firehouse, to team up with the original Ghostbusters, who've developed a top-secret research lab to take busting ghosts to the next level. But when the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, Ghostbusters new and old must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. The release date is March 22nd on theaters. You'll Never Find Me. When an isolated man living at the back of a desolate caravan park is visited by a desperate young woman seeking shelter from a violent storm. As the savage storm worsens, these solitary souls begin to feel threatened, but who should really be afraid? The release date is March 22nd on Shudder. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. This is a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong 2021 and the fifth film in the MonsterVerse. The new installment in the MonsterVerse puts the mighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal deadly threat hidden within our world that threatens the existence of their species and our very own, as well as diving deep into the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond. Delving straight into the origins of Hollow Earth, this film will explore the ancient Titan battle that brought man and monster together forever. The release date is March 29th on theaters. Thanks for watching this video, and do subscribe my channel for new update.